Hello again, and it's time for another project. Today we're going to scroll out this elephant, removing all the white sections and just leaving the black lines. There's quite a lot of cutting out to do, but we'll manage it as we go along. And then eventually we'll turn it round, literally do another cut of the same piece, like so, and we'll use that as a backer to go behind. And then eventually when it's all stuck down and in place, we'll use multicoloured resins just to fill in all these sections here. Now you could leave the backing off and make some nice stained glass effect, but that's not the project we're going for today. I've done that on previous videos. So as always, for me, literally going to line this 5mm ply with the blue painter's tape, decorator's tape. We'll just line that section completely, just that one half, remember. And then we'll spray some of our glue on and literally stick that down, and that section's ready to start cutting out. We'll do that first and then we'll go on to the next stage. Okay, you can see from that, we've stuck it all down, we've sprayed our glue on, we've stuck the template down. We've also drilled what they call pilot holes in every section that we're going to remove. And obviously we need those because somehow we've got to get the blade into that section. Now the idea is that you drill your pilot hole, you can feed your blade in, like so. Then you attach that to your saw at the top and bottom, and you can nicely cut out that section out. Do the same again and same again. It's a slow process, but the end result is a lot better and hopefully looks the part. Now the blades we're going to use, I've been doing spiral blades on my last couple of projects. These are great little blades, however, because they haven't got pins on, I need one of these adapter clamps. They're just a pain, because basically I've got to try and feed that, undo this with an Allen key, feed it through the hole, clip it underneath the saw, put the Allen key back, the clamp back on, put the Allen key on, clamp it all up. They are just a pain in the neck, seriously. The more modern day saws that have clamps that you just do with your hand, and it's a lot easier. They also do a pinless straight blade. When I say straight blade, it's obviously a lot straighter than this one. The teeth are just at the front, and they're ideal for fitting into the smaller holes that you can't get in. Pin blades, they've also got the pin at either end like so. These are a lot easier because they literally just clip on the bottom, clip on the top, once you've fed it through your holes. Obviously with your smaller sections like this, you're not going to get a pin blade in. That's when we'll go pinless. But these bigger ones, we'll start off with these. We'll get these in these holes, no problem, and see how we get on. Let's try cutting this one out. If it's not working out with these straight blades, and I do struggle with these now, because I've got so used of the spiral blades. Good thing with the spiral blades, there's no turning of the wood. These blades will cut front, back, left and right. Whereas your straight blades, they've only got the teeth at the front. They'll only cut as you push into the blade. Then you've got to turn the full piece like so and cut up there. And then turn again and cut up there and so on. But whereas with a spiral, you can basically just go like that. A lot easier, but a lot more difficult to control. Right, we've gone all the way around. I used a spiral blade literally just to make these holes slightly bigger, just so I can get the pin blades through. But we've cut it all out. Everything's still intact. All we need to do now is start peeling our painter's tape off. Let's not get too carried away. We don't want to break anything at this stage. I'll take all this off and then we'll do a general tidy up. And then we'll work out what kind of backing we're going to put on. This piece would be ideal, but I'm tempted to go slightly wider, maybe an inch all the way around, just to make it a little bit bigger. And unfortunately this piece is just a little bit too tight, but we'll sort that out first, should I say, at the end. But for now, we'll peel all this off. It comes off nice and easy like so. And then we'll general sanding down, tidy it up, and then we'll sort the backing out. Right, we've gone around with our sanders, our bits of paper. There is little files and all sorts you can play on forevermore. But that's near enough for what I want. We're going to put resin in this at the end of the day, multicoloured resin. And we're probably even going to paint this wood. We'll see how we get on. Right, what I've done now is basically just stuck it temporary to this piece of recycled 1/2 inch pine wood. This come off a wardrobe. I'm going to use that as a nice thick backer, just to give it a bit more chunkiness. And I want to extend it slightly all the way around, just to make it slightly bigger. Now the way I'm doing that is simply piece of 1/2 inch wood like this, just lying around in the workshop. We're lucky with this one, it's nice straight edges all the way around. I did a previous project where it was all circles, and I literally just got a washer, put the pencil inside the washer, and you can draw all the way around. Lucky enough with this piece of wood, just a case of putting it flush up against the side, and we'll draw our line with the pencil, moving it, draw your line, so on, so on, so on, and all the way around. So we'll go all the way around the project like this, and then when it's all done, we'll put it on the scroll saw for the last time, and we'll cut out the distance from there to there. So we'll have that overhang, paint that, paint this, and start putting some resin inside. Okay, I'll finish this off and we'll come back when we're ready to cut it out. Right, we've gone all the way around with the scroll saw. I didn't show you a lot of the cutting, you've seen it before, but there's a general shape. What I want to do is sand all this down to the bare wood and round these edges off, just to give it a bit more shape. And then once that's all done, hopefully we'll get our one that we cut out earlier, and that will sit on there similar to that. We can put our piece of wood down the side again, just to make sure we've got it nice and central all the way around. We're going to stick that on there with resin. I'm going to use resin to stick this down to make a nice seal of it. Once it's all nicely set, we'll start putting different coloured resins into each one of these. Now you have a lot of options here. You could leave it like that. That actually looks nice like that. Stick it all down, bit of spray, and that project would be finished. You could fill that in separately with resin, and that would be a nice stained glass effect. But we've done that on previous projects, so it's always something a little bit different. I filled one in with resin and sanded it down, so that's another thing we've tried out. So try and keep things different, and it keeps it interesting. So for now, we'll sand all this down, round it off, bit of shape, stick that on, get our resin in. Let's do that next. Right, we've sanded it down as much as I'm prepared to go anyway. It's not my favourite thing to do. Just round it off slightly. You can see the original on the other side. All recycled wood, remember. So it's as good as we're going to get. Now that's our backing. This is our original scroll saw pattern that we cut out. And the idea is that we'll put that on there eventually with our resin to stick it down. And like I said previously, we'll fill it all in. Now I've had a bit of a dilemma. Personally, I like to leave a lot of wood showing. So, I don't know about the paint, but I'm going to go with the paint idea because having cut out this backing, to me, what started off as just an head with a trunk and a tusk, in my mind, I'm seeing a full-size elephant now. So if you can imagine, you got the nice big head in front of you, you got the body section coming here, and if you really use your imagination, you've got the legs behind the back. So in my mind, it's turned into a full-size frontal of an elephant. Head, body, legs behind the trunk. So I'm going to go and paint this all. I know, don't shout at me guys. Black and grey. Should I say black and white to make the grey. I don't even have a grey paint. And I'll literally just paint all this, to be honest. It won't really matter about doing this back section because that's all going to be covered in resin. But just to save messing about and quickness, we'll paint it all grey. And we'll do this top section a lighter grey. Just right, we've painted all that. I'd like that grey to be a bit lighter. But it doesn't matter because all the coloured resin we're going to put in, that's going to alter it completely. So you can see from that, it's all painted nicely. We've got to stick this onto our backing board now. For me, I said it before, I'm going to use resin. You can try super glue, but you're going to have to seal every section. Because I can guarantee you, a couple of dabs of glue are not going to be any good. Because once you start putting your coloured resin in, that's going to run straight underneath it into the next one. Guaranteed. So the best way is to just coat the full thing with resin. You can put your resin on there and spread it about. But I don't want any over the end sections. So it's going to take longer, but we will literally just put a coat of resin on there. Find the right place. Put our clamps on and we'll leave that overnight. And then we can fill the whole thing in one go with our multicoloured resin. Right, let's go indoors now and start sorting this resin out. Okay, resin time. As always for me, amazing clear cast. Love this resin. I've tried 4 or 5 different ones and this has been the only one that really works for me. You mix it by volume, so literally no scales. So inch, half an inch in one cup, inch, half an inch in the other cup. Like so. I use these little party plastic beakers. You can get 100 for next to nothing. And mark off what you want. So we'll put so much A in, which will be that one there. And so much B, which obviously will be that one there. And then we mix the two together. They do say put a third cup and mix them both into a third one. I literally just pour B into A. Because B is the faster running one. A, which is the resin, is quite thick and that's a slow pouring one. B, the hardener, that's easy flow. So we'll throw that in there, mix it together, 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll use that as our glue and literally just brush it on the back of the elephant. I'll mix it off camera because it's a slow process. Okay, we've nicely mixed up the resin. Hopefully there'll be enough in there to finish this off. I'll just turn this on its side. You notice we've used our original woods that we started off with just as markers. You could put tape just as easy, or a couple of pencil lines in here, just so we get this piece nice and central with the backing board. So hopefully we'll take that off there like so. We'll coat this with resin, and then hopefully when we come to clip it back in, we can just pop it in the same place like that. and it's good. And then we'll get some weight on there, use these clips all the way around, and we'll leave it to set. Right, resin time. All nicely mixed. You can use a brush. I'm just going to use the back of this plastic spoon like so, and go over it all like that. The good thing with this resin, you can see the shine of where you've been. Now it doesn't matter if you go too much on the inner side, because we're going to coat it all with resin, so you can literally just put it on like so. Okay, I'll finish this off and then come back. Right, you can see from that, that's all stuck down nicely. Quite a few little clamps on it, just to keep it in place. Right, we'll put this to one side, and hopefully we'll come back tomorrow and this will all be nicely sealed. Right, it's the next day. We've removed all the clamps. That's nicely solid now. That's not going to go anywhere. And hopefully we've sealed it all the way around. Colour wise, we have plenty to go out. These are just cheap eBay specials. Nothing too fantastic. Now the way I'm going to try and work this out is hopefully just pick random colours. We're also going to want white for the tusk, that's more important, and maybe some white in the eyes. I'm just going to pop these in just fairly randomly like that. And the idea is that we don't want two colours together, like two yellows or two greens. You can use a different red down there, and we can use a yellow in there. And maybe, no, see, I was going to put a green in there, but then you've got two greens together, so we'll move that one around a bit. That yellow can go in there, and that green can go down there, and so on. And the idea, we do one side mirror image, so be identical at either side, and then we just use whatever left in each container to fill these all the way down. So there's plenty to work to go at, plenty to do, should I say. Squeeze that one in there, and that's about one half done. We get another one in there, like so. So we get the general idea. Right, mixing exactly the same. Your two little containers, part A, part B. Got to mix a fair bit, because we can do half of one of these containers and mix a little bit into maybe three. Then put a droplet of each colour in each one, and then we're good to start filling this one in. These colours are great. You don't need a lot. A couple of droplets. If you want it a bit darker, you can always throw a bit more in. So literally 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll guess at 2 for now. If it's not dark enough, you can add another one. And that's literally all it is. Nice mix round. Doesn't take a lot of mixing. And there we have it. See, I think that's a little bit too light myself, so I'm going to dab a little bit more in. 1, 2. So on average, 4 drops per amount of resin for now. Some colours are better than others. Red's a really nice colour. Green would be a nice colour. These yellow ones, they're a little bit lighter. But anyway, we've mixed that one. So all we've got to start doing now is literally filling these in. We know that one's going to go there, so we'll do the opposite on this side. Then I'll fill that one, and we can remove that. And it's the same procedure through the whole lot, and we see how we go on. These plastic knife and forks are ideal, because they do have a little scoop on the end, if you want to just scoop it in like so. But with this, we can literally just start pouring it in. I'm not filling it up to the top of the scrolled out section. I still want you to be able to feel the ripples, I'm going to call it. We'll do a little bit in there like so. Get yourself a cocktail stick, you can help feed that around like that. What I do want to make sure is I've got enough to do both sides, and we can always top them up afterwards. I do apologise, this focus is in and out. It's quite clear as this one. So a little bit more in there. And then we can go back to this one, top this one up the same. We've got our little scoop on the end there, look, should we need it. And so on and so on. You get the general idea. And then we can use our little cocktail stick and just help feed that in like so. Right, I'll continue with this. I don't want to drag it out too long. My videos are just starting to get a little bit too long. Remember, we're not filling it up to the top. That's the reason why we've painted down the side walls, so the grey goes into the resin. Right, I'll continue and come back hopefully when this one's nicely finished. Right, we finally made it all the way around. To be honest, I did so much in the morning and I've just finished this off in the evening. It's quite a slow process, but you can see the idea we're going for. What I did on the first section is get yourself a lighter and all your new bits, literally just skim over the top like that. And what that's going to do is just help release any little air bubbles that you've got in there. Just make it nice and shiny and as clear as we can be with what we want. So I'll continue with this for 2 or 3 minutes and we'll put it to one side and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll see how this one has set. Some of these colours, obviously I run out of colours towards the end. You can mix these just as easy as mixing paints. So put your reds with your greens to get whatever colour you would get. The light blue, that was a dark blue. That blue was literally the same colour as that one. Drop a bit of white in and you can see what you get. So don't be afraid to mix your colours up within your resin. It'll manage it no problem whatsoever. Right, let's come back tomorrow and we'll see what we've ended up with. Right, it's a couple of days later. Originally these two sections were orange, like this piece here. I just wasn't comfortable. Looked like he had horns coming out the top of his head. So I basically dug it all out and replaced it with the blue. But as you can see from that, everything's nicely set, nice and solid. Didn't really have any leakages. A little bit in this corner, nothing dramatic. And I think there's a little bit on this section here. But you just wiped it off, no issues whatsoever. That could be if the wood was slightly twisted or whatever, it doesn't matter. But it worked out fine. Plenty of colours on it. If I could just turn it around there, you get a lot better view. So 18 inches in length by 17 inches across. Scroll saw and a resin inlay elephant. Thank you very much for watching.